It's Tuesday evening. This is the Suffolk Crunch. My name is Rich, and just a quick video this evening. Before we get started, we go for 95 likes on this video. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your notifications bell. Share with your friends, and also head over to the Suffolk Crunch's sponsor, Bad Shirt Club, for your hats, bucket hats, your jackets, your shirts. Christmas lines coming very soon, and use the code TSC30 at the checkout and you get 30% off your order. So get over there. Good evening, Bradish. Good evening, Mike Baker. I thought I'd drop a little video tonight. I hadn't planned to do any until the QPR preview, which will come probably. I'm out Friday, Thursday evening. I'll do that Thursday evening. But today, obviously last night, Brendan Rodgers left Celtic, and Martin O'Neill is in as interim manager with Sean Maloney. And then obviously the rumour mill starts, and Kieran McKenna's name has come up in the conversation. I think he's second favourite at the minute to Ange Postecoglou, who obviously managed at Parkhead before. I've seen a lot of chat online. Why would Kieran go there? It's a tin pot league. Blah de blah de blah. Good evening, Martin. If you're in the comments, get involved. What do you think? And if you're watching back on catch up, get your comments in the comment section on YouTube. I always love reading all of them with your thoughts on Kieran McKenna. This is where I sit. Right. So Kieran, Ashley Smith, Tammy Golding, how you doing? Paul's in. Everyone hit the like button now. 25 of you watching. Come on. The Fisherman is here. He says, if Kieran McKenna goes to Celtic, I think it's a good and right move for him. I spoke to Mike earlier. He knows my thoughts. Ben's Life is in. It would be a good move if he wants to win a title, a massive club, but it's not too competitive and think he'd rather a Prem job. Well, he ain't getting one of them anytime soon. Let's just say that. Right. Obviously, McKenna's been here, nearly 4 years, I think now. He's done some great things at Town. Whatever happens this season, I think Kieran, he's put us back on the map as a football club. When he came in, he was pretty unknown to a lot of people. Obviously, Mark Ashton had been had him on his radar. He was obviously at United under Solskjaer, under Mourinho. Good young coach. So he come with that pedigree, and we didn't know a lot about him. Back-to-back promotions, we all know that story. Struggled in the Premier League last season for a number of reasons, and struggled to start this season, if we're being perfectly honest, as we sit 12th in the table tonight. So obviously at the weekend, there was a little bit of I'd say negative press. Obviously Kieran saying it was a tough atmosphere to play in. Didn't go to the North Stand. Dom's in. I don't see him going, but like any manager, he can be replaced. So it didn't go to the fans, which fair enough. And then he came out and obviously made them comments, which I think in hindsight, he probably should have kept to himself. Obviously a little bit frustrated, probably the start of the season, bit of negative fan comments in the stadium after Charlton, but you've just lost 3-0 at home. And I think the overall feel in the start to the season, it's been a little bit negative. Mike Baker says, look, the way I look at it is if he goes, then all the best to him. I think he's taken us as far as he can, and a change wouldn't be a bad thing for both parties. Blue Heaven, good evening, says, don't think it will happen. Celtic will go back in for Ange. Postecoglou might want some time out, possibly, but then he can hoover up some trophies there. This is where I sit at on Tuesday evening. Paul says he can't see him leaving at this stage. I think he's still up for getting us sorted as serious promotion contenders. So he's contracted till 2028. He's very, very well paid, Kieran McKenna. He's got a big contract after, obviously, Chelsea, Brighton, Man United back in the summer after we got promoted to the Premier League. Then he signed that new contract. I think personally at the minute, it's a little bit stale. I would say that's the word I'd use at the minute. It's a little bit stale around the football club. The feel, it can all change. Football moves very, very quickly. So many moving parts. It can change very quickly. And we could win on Saturday. That's 2 back-to-back wins. We could go on a good run and we could climb that table because there's not much of a gap from where we are to the playoff places. Obviously, we're looking for top two, but one step at a time. Adam's in the house. Isn't there a large release clause? I don't see Celtic paying out. Yes, the release clause, apparently when he was signed the new contract, it's between, I think, 8 to 10 million. A lot of money for Celtic. Obviously, Brendan Rodgers has been very critical of their transfers policy in the summer. So I'm not really sure what the finances are there at Celtic. But personally, this is how I feel. Russell Martin, he's not as good a manager as Kieran McKenna. He's not, I'm sorry. And Rangers are a bit of a basket club at the minute. Finch's Rest Cemetery, evening all, is probably the most tempting offer he has had thus far, but I really don't think he will go. SJH594 says, I think if we don't get to the playoffs, then he'll look to move on in the summer. Right, let's get to where I think. I think at the minute, this could be a good move for all parties. I'm not saying in any stretch of the imagination I want Kieran McKenna to leave, because I don't, because I'm a massive fan of him. If anybody knows me, I've got the McKenna tattoo on my calf. People have said, will you get it blacked out if he leaves? No, because obviously part of the history of Ipswich Town Football Club was back-to-back promotions. So there you go. But at the minute, I think it could be a good move for Kieran. I think he looks tired at the minute. When I see him, he's obviously, look, football management is a very, very pressured situation. They get paid very well, I know that, but everyone's a human being. I think he looks tired. Maybe he needs possibly a new challenge. I don't know. I'm not speaking for Kieran McKenna, because obviously he's still contracted to Town, and obviously he's hoping to get us promotion. If he could stay, get us back to the Premier League, that goes back on his CV. That's great. At the minute, if he went, we get a new manager in with new ideas, freshens things up, it could be best for all parties. But I'm not saying I want him to leave. That's not what I'm saying. I just think it could be a good deal for both parties. But obviously I want him to stay. Fast forward to the summer, and Town fail to get out of this division. With the amount of money that we've spent on the squad, I think that's a big failure, and I think that could cost Kieran his job. But that's fast forwarding, and that's looking into the future. And nobody knows what's going to happen. You know, we might go on a good run. We could get top two. We might fall into the playoffs. We could win at Wembley. We've never been there. That would be a great day out. But ultimately, you look at Chris Wilder last summer, Sheffield United. I know it's a different football club, but they didn't get promoted and they sacked him, which was the wrong move for them. But Kieran's been here for 4 years. You know, sometimes things just come to your natural end. And maybe this is the time for Kieran to look for a fresh opportunity. I don't personally agree with people saying, why would he go to Celtic? You know, blah, 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 blah. Celtic are a massive, massive football club with a massive fan base, European football. You know, I think that would be it'd be an interesting move for McKenna. I do. He's got family. A lot of his family supports Celtic, so he's got the link there. So I just think it's one that we shouldn't just bat away and say he won't go. He won't go, because one day he will leave the football club, and it'll be a very, very sad day. I wouldn't be so disappointed if he went. Burley did more and got sacked. I don't disagree with that, Mike. That's football. In the end, everybody gets sacked. We all know that. You know, that's Gavin Ward-Law. He's a Rangers fan. How are you faring with Danny Roll? What do you think to him? But yeah, look, that's just where I sit tonight. I personally hope Kieran stays and he gets us promoted. But then can he reinvent himself if we get to the Premier League? Could it be any different next time round? If we did go up this season, would we have to change the transfer policy? Would Kieran be adaptable to change his tactics? I don't know. But John Couch says, who would you go for if he goes? Well, I think Liam Rosenior would be high on my list. Brendan Rodgers, managed Leicester, managed Liverpool, managed Swansea, managed Watford. He might come to a club like Town. I don't think he'd be a bad choice. Brendan, I'm not saying I want Brendan Rodgers. I don't think it'd be a terrible choice. Your names like Gerrard would get floated around in the mix. Not saying I want him. I like John Mousinho at Portsmouth. I think he's done an excellent job there. Excellent young coach. Lee Carsley, says Dino. Let's have a look at some comments. Sometimes it is the right time to leave a club, says Turbo ITFC. Fisherman says Rodgers, question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm not saying I want him, Mike. I'm just saying, throwing his name out there in the mix. You did actually say, if you didn't watch Mike's YouTube the other week, go and subscribe to Mike's channel. Mike, you said Xavi. Don't you ever go at me about saying Brendan Rodgers? There you go. Don wants Frank Lampard. Doing great things at Coventry, Don. Why would he want to leave and come to town? There you go. Let's have a look at some more comments. Go back. Dom says Nathan Jones. I'm not sure Nathan Jones, Dom, because he went to a big club at Southampton, failed. Stoke, big club, failed. Charlton sort of fits his sort of stature. Luton, done well. Charlton, bigger club than Luton, but that sort of club, I think they fit Nathan Jones. I don't think he'd work at town. What Jack Smith says, what manager out there is a better choice than Mckenna? Finch's Rest Cemetery said he's still well in with the project with the academy as well, being well settled. Training ground as well. He's got his fingerprints all over that. So Adam says Mckenna is settled. His kids are in schools here. He isn't going anywhere, especially Scotland. Yeah, Turbo ITFC says, really think this is a good move for Mckenna. Agree with one last comment. Mckenna has taken us as far as we can. There you go. He says Dermot Desmond will find the money. Gareth Southgate is coming to the chat. How do you feel about that, Mike? Morsey back as manager. Let's have a look. 10 million. I've missed some of these comments. If we don't get in the playoffs, we'll be gone either way, says Dom. Yeah. So that is me about done. 12 minutes. Like I said, hit the like button, hit subscribe. If you're watching back on catch up, get involved in the comments with your thoughts on Mckenna. If he potentially did leave town, do you think it would be a good move for him going to Celtic? Who do you want in as manager? Aluko. Wow. Well done, Tom. Top man. Anyway, that's me about done. Hit the subscribe, share with your mates, and get over to Bad Shirt Club. Go and buy some stuff for Christmas. Get a bucket hat. Get a jacket. Get a shirt. Christmas coming. Christmas party time. Christmas party season is upon us. So head over there. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will be back, I think, Thursday evening with the Queen's Park Rangers preview. We'll get that out. Hopefully a lot of you can watch that. Head over to Where the Town Walk. The latest video is out on their YouTube channel. We recorded that on Sunday night. We've had over 1,200 people watch that already. Hit the subscribe over there. We're looking to get to 500. And also, Tractor Noise podcast is a new Ipswich Town podcast. It's on your Spotify, Apple Play, but it's now on YouTube. So head over there and have a look at that, and yeah, give the boys some love. Anyway, thank you for watching. That is me done. I'm going to go and watch Wrexham versus Cardiff in the Carabao Cup. Will it be a Nathan Broadhead and Kiefer Moore masterclass? See you all on Thursday evening. Thanks for watching.